So what did we order there?
Hibachi.
Yeah, it's been a while. We're not watching the show though. You know, I'm including you because you're my best friend in the whole wide world, and you're beautiful.
Okay.
So, chicken and shrimp, I did steak and shrimp.
Yeah.
Diet Coke, that's not, well, I guess Diet Pepsi, not too interesting, but that looks glorious. Salad looks good. It's got the ginger dressing on it, and I opted for the onion soup. I'm not quite sure. Do you think Christy would call this foot soup, or is it not so stinky because it doesn't have the cheese?
Not foot soup.
I asked you for your love, and then you let me take that away. And I asked you for your heart, because I knew that you wanted to stay away.
So what am I up to? I am up to playing with this little guy. It's a Raspberry Pi 4 that I found stored away in my rack shelf. I've got a little LCD that goes along with this case, and I've plugged it into my Jackery just for extra fun. Right now, I have it plugged into a monitor, although eventually this little piece will go into place, which will put that LCD in working order. But first, I'm downloading some drivers. And if you're not familiar with that dragon, that means Callie is going on this. So, I am building myself a little Raspberry Pi for development and running penetration testing here on my local network. There it is, starting to boot. Give her a little bit of time. There we are, Callie login. Now, I've only had this on there for a few minutes, and I'll be the first to admit that I am not an expert when it comes to Kali Linux. It's interest to me. There's a couple of YouTube guys that I watch that use it extensively. So I'm on a journey to learn a little bit more. I am not sure I'm going to dig the LCD on this. I've got one other Raspberry Pi that runs it that I'm thinking about using as a portable software-defined radio. But this one really requires a stylus, and to be honest, that's not something I'm super huge on. But we'll see. I'll give it a chance. I kept the original case below it. I found out that I can unplug that as I was configuring it and still go into a regular display, so nothing is permanent as of right now.
Well, the radio rig is getting set up nicely too. I've got 6 meters, 2 meters, and 70 centimeters up there at the top. Gonna go run and get some pizza. And there's a 2 meter and 440 FM quarter wave, I think, antenna over there too. So we're gonna take it into town, see how it does. I'm gonna drive it around. Seems pretty solid. And I think it's less about will it stay on there and more about will I get people looking at me funny or pulled over. Yeah, it makes sense to put this in the video blog. How do you have a bad day? Well, there's that first part. But I'll tell you the next part's impressive. You know, I kind of think after seeing this, Clint, that plowing in the old days would have been a lot easier with an F-150.
And a trailer that's not.
That's how you have a bad day. Trailer pulled the hitch out. We won't get into why the hitch pulled out. that was a magic trick. And so now we've managed to, with my friend's help, get the truck disassembled and not attached. And now we're waiting on AAA. And thankfully, since I have my bikes, I had RV AAA and called insurance. I thought I would get a break, and since I damaged my truck and my trailer, it would be one claim, but oh no, 2 claims. But that's all good. Everybody is not hurt. I probably will have some things I've been wanting to get fixed, and we'll be better when it's all done. And I can guarantee you the mistake I made, hitch pin, I won't do that again. That's the beautiful thing about screwing up. Trailer doesn't look too bad, actually. Okay. I'll tell you guys how grateful I am for you. Eat the whole thing?
Probably not. I'm gonna go with a no.
There's a good tenderloin I can tell you about that is a rival for that.
A what?
A tenderloin.
Oh.
Alright, I'm into the fridge already. Grab myself 7-Up. And there she is. Put on a little footer, a spacer on the side. I'm going to reinforce this a little bit more, but certainly in better shape than it was. And there we are, a little bit further into our adventure. Got a couple pieces of cedar holding it in place. Got the gap pretty filled on the bottom. That sunlight peeking in, it's not really a big gap. It's just picking it up on the camera. It's probably a little bit better of an angle. But we're going to put probably a few more pieces and put a sign on there anyway. It's my guess. I'll use some tin just to make it prettied up a little. There's plenty of daylight coming in here, even if I clear up that particular window and turn it into a receiving box for an AC. And another milestone gets done, and actually the window got completed too. Got to paint it. So this wall has been unfinished for a while, and as of right now, all of the electrical stuff I've been trying to do, which is to cover all power lines, which the inspector told me many moons ago when I did the electric we should do. And in actuality, in my defense, everything was covered, but now we're officially covered with board. And it's starting to look like a real room. Next thing I'm gonna do, oh man, my hair. I've not trimmed in this window behind me and on the outside, so it's been, not surprisingly, leaking. So I'm going to put trim around it and see if I have any caulk and try to get it sealed up so that we're not taking any water. I don't know if I showed it, but that's more of the boards in place. I've got another piece up top that I think is about 6 inches or so. So I'm going to see if I have one of those cedar boards in 6 inches, and so I'll close that off. But the other thing I might do is I might stuff some insulation in there. We'll see. Or maybe some old t-shirts or something like that. Most of this barn shack has been built with just spare parts and things I've picked up on my travels. The outside, I'm trying to give it a Route 66 vibe by buying different signs and putting them on the outside. Over there, I have a cowl from a friend of mine's motorcycle, and I've actually got the innards of lights, so eventually I'm going to make that functional and light up. The other little piece I did today, I enclosed the window and put some sealant around it. It's going to dry clear. The window's been in for longer than I care to admit, and it was about time that I got that put in. So that should seal off the inside and put us in some good shape. Between finishing up the inside wall, fixing the AC unit, and putting in the window, and by the way, that's one of my antenna towers for ham radio. That's a tri-bander beam called a Mosley. And from what I understand, I'll be getting back one of my rotator controls today, which means we should be on the air in HF pretty soon. Some additional signage put into place. I've got to fix my flag holder. It's holding on, but I need to get it back put in place. Make it a little more rustic, I was putting in these old shutters that came from my parents' house, and as I went to work on this one, that little booger got my finger. I had to one of the home supply stores and get a humane way to deal with him. I had forgotten how much that hurts. My finger was on fire for quite some time. So, the trunk has a little bit of a new look. Jim helped me put on this nice rack today that will let me put a duffel bag on top of the new trunk. And the tour pack I used to look at and think I'd have a lot more room with my sissy bag that I always put on my sissy bar, but in reality there's a lot more room in this bike now that I have the tour pack. It is Saturday, and I had some engagements up in the Twin Cities this morning and some more this afternoon. So Amanda and the girls took off and went to go see some relatives. I couldn't go because of the pre-engagement. And as I got thinking about, man, I'm going to have to drive up to the cities, drive back down, and then drive back up because tonight is a tuxedo event. I thought, I'm not so sure I want to do all that driving. So for a little bit, I thought, well, maybe I'll take my tux with me. And then I got to really thinking and asked the magic word digital assistant if we were going to have any rain, and she said 0% chance. And that meant I could ride the bike. So, up to Farmington I went on the street glide, and she did a wonderful job. On the way back, I stopped and thought, if the girls aren't here, that means I can choose whatever it is I'd like to eat. And a Thai tea sure does sound awfully good. And as I was sitting there enjoying that Thai tea and a glass of water, I thought, chicken satay would taste awfully good. So out comes the chicken satay, and man, I don't know if it's just because I get to have a day to focus on me, or if the food was truly wonderful, of which I have no doubt. But that was just about the best chicken satay I've had in a very long time. And the other thing that dawns on me as I'm riding through Minnesota in August is this is kind of not a fun place to be around January. But I've traveled all over. I've been everywhere, in the words of Johnny Cash. And in the United States, I love it out west, I love it out east. But in August, there just really isn't anything as beautiful as the northern Midwest. It is absolutely breathtaking, especially with a little bit of mist and fog going over the fields in the morning at around 6 a.m. So, unfortunately for you all,
I did not take a helmet cam this morning. I just kind of wanted to enjoy the moment. But next time, I'll try to do a better job. And maybe take you along with me. It's one of our favorite activities, isn't it, T? Waiting for the bus. Right, Ness?
Yeah.
Waiting for the bus. You got any dance moves that you can show us while we're waiting? How about, can I get a high five? Cool. Fist bump. Fist bump. Do I get a fist bump? Okay. That's some serious cool stuff. You go, woo! Say hi to YouTube. Say, woo! Kinda. Yeah. Well, it seems fitting that I do a video while I'm taking my friend Jim home. Say hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Yeah.
You knew that was coming.
So, last time I recorded, and I've been doing lots of footage ever since, and I'll include it in this video, I took my camper for a little bit of a tractor pull. And it's not something I was proud of. And I've learned a good lesson. I'll put up here what the issue was. But a friend of mine at work begged me to put out new content. So I thought, you know, maybe this is the good time to do that. So for all of you out there, I appreciate you. I appreciate good friends. I have missed you, and things are still a little bit batty right now, but I did want to put out an episode. So hopefully this comes out very soon. Today's September 30th. We're getting ever closer to winter, and chances are good I'll be riding the bike. So we'll see if I get to editing anytime soon. And that's about it for today. Thank you for coming back to the channel. Hit like, subscribe, click the little bell, and that'll be a good indicator that I should keep creating content. And, you know, it's just a matter of finding time and prioritizing, I suppose. But I do appreciate everyone coming here to Merc Vapor Adventures, and we'll see you next time.